Oh, yes, you're doing the last one, I'm sorry, yes.
Good.
Go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad we're all back from lunch. How was those sandwiches?
Good.
Awesome. Again, we finished off with our haircut here this morning before lunch, and I just want to give a couple of tips and tricks on how to finish it, texturize it, and removal of weight within the fringe area. Now, when I'm going in and I'm starting to remove weight in the fringe, I like to slide cut. Now, I also like to kind of comb my hair into how it's going to live, and I work with a scissoring motion throughout the hair strand, from mids to ends. So coming through, I start in the mids, and I snip, 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 snip until I'm through the fringe. Snip, 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 snip. And then I comb the hair how I want it.
What technique is that called?
Sliding.
I wasn't testing you, I was literally asking you as well.
So sliding, but just closing my scissors little bit by little bit from mids to ends to add a little bit of texture, remove some weight from the ends, just so it looks softer, and I think it helps the hair kick out a little bit more. Okay. As well, what I like to do with my face framing is I blend it in, same idea, using those little snips as I work through the strand and through the side, adding a little bit of face framing layering throughout. This is going to add a softness towards the face, add some texture so there's a little bit more interest to the haircut. Just picking up the pieces that I think could be better. Just kind of sliding through those visually. Nothing too set in stone here. Okay. It's looking pretty balanced. Now I do notice this one section over here I feel is a little heavy. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna, from the mid, I'm just gonna do a couple snips, but then leave it out so that I still have this curl nice and intact on the ends rather than shattering all the way through it. So do that a couple times because the other side looks a little finer. Drop that. Adds texture and some interest. Okay. Now what I like to do to finish off my guest is, the one thing I think is important for curly hair is to have a moisture product and then also a product with some hold. My moisture product today is going to be Be Curly Curl Enhancer. And then I'm going to put about the same amount as like the tip of my thumbnail, okay? I think this gives us lots to work with. Curly hair, you need a little bit more product than you would on straight hair. And just so I don't disturb the curl too much,
1 minute.
I just squeeze it into the hair, scrunch it, okay? Then once I like that, maybe I'll go in and I'll touch up anything around the face so it doesn't look frizzy. Just like so. Here. And then just a little bit of that hold. Scrunch that in so that we can set this style exactly how it is laying and sitting. And then I'm just gonna let that air dry because I feel that's gonna be best suited for our guest today.
Right
on the money there, dude.
Great.
Okay, stay where you are. How do you feel?
Good.
Good?
Relaxed.
Compared to this morning's presentation.
I hit the points that I wanted to hit.
Okay.
This morning, I just talked about the opening and closing of the shears,
Okay.
but I didn't necessarily talk about where I started on the hair strand
Okay.
and where I ended, so
Okay.
I added that in.
Okay.
I felt less rushed
Okay.
and removed kind of a lot of content from the very first time.
Okay, I was gonna say it was a little content light. So
Yeah.
maybe you should have brought some of that in. There's the right balance there. This is not about, it's not about the content, but again, I think you're naturally comfortable up there. I think where you would do better is not the sound of your voice, it's more eye connection, for sure. You kept connecting to our front person here, so it was like she was gonna be like your main student here. None of us in the back row, I don't know, felt as much eye contact, at least not for me, so thanks for not helping me, my friend. And then just getting into, texturizing is like such a thing, such a visual thing, such a, hand thing, a touch thing. So what are some of the tips and pointers that you can like add into the presentation that tells people, rather than it being simply about being demonstrational, we know why. So you had to me, the only thing that was missing was the why in the conversation. For the conversation to feel like it's looping. Like, why am I doing this? Why would I want to do this behind the chair? Why am I doing this dry and not wet? And if so, you explain that in the morning, now in the afternoon, you're starting that, you could also recap those aspects and those points just to keep the conversation going, okay? Obviously you teach all the time, you're a very successful educator, and I think given the context of having the full day, I know how you work, and I've seen you do your thing. I just think in these little moments and stuff, where I would, put the focus would just be around, like, how do I balance the right content, and how do I keep the conversation flowing? And, a good tip is like, write your questions out for yourself. A really good thing to think about right now is, why am I starting with my scissor this way versus this way or this way? And regardless if that's even part of it, you just write those questions on it, it just brings focus to the conversation. Anything else you feel in comparison to this morning?
Not really.
No?
I feel all right.
Okay, good. Good. Well done, man. Excellent. Excellent. And the mannequin looks amazing.
Yes, she does. And I'm gonna try that about, normally, if I'm gonna remove weight on the, on the bottom like that, I would carry it all the way down.
I was gonna.
So I'm gonna try that, yeah.
I like that, stopping and not
Yeah,
keep on
I like
making
it.
those ends weaker and weaker.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.